The Gulls Nest is on the air. It's time for a weekly dose of Seaside High School athletics with the Gulls Nest. If it happens on the field, in the pool, or on the court, you'll hear it here. The Gulls Nest is sponsored by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.
Good evening and welcome to the Gulls Nest. Jason Boyd, Athletic Director at Seaside High School, here with
Coach Chad Smith. Thanks for having me.
Coach, always a pleasure to have you on the show. The Gulls Nest is brought to you by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, home of the lifetime warranty.
We also want to thank our participating sponsors, Seaside Factory Outlet Center and Angelina's Pizzeria and Cafe.
Well, Coach, it's homecoming week, which is always an exciting opportunity for kids to get involved with their school, alumni to come back and visit, and for everybody in the community to come out and support the Seagulls and all their athletic endeavors. Currently, we are in the middle of our boys varsity soccer game against Gladstone. I will let you know that there are a couple seats still available if you want to come down and join us here at Broadway Field as the boys take on a fairly highly ranked non-league opponent as they start to wind down the end of their regular season. Fantastic game so far. It is, let's use the word spectacle. So if you want to see something pretty exciting, you should come on down and watch the rest of the boys game here at Broadway Field. Coach, let's turn our attention right now to the last contest, Valley Catholic.
Right. Yeah. Last Friday was kind of our first game with a little bit of weather. You know, it was rainy, and so that was a great challenge to see how some of our shotgun snaps would do in the rain. And I think we did pretty well. We didn't have any bad snaps, and so that was good to see because I believe this Friday it's going to be even worse. So. We are practicing under center as well, and so we're going to go out and prepare for the worst and see what kind of weather we have on Friday.
So at Valley, lots of rain, trying to move the ball, weren't super successful in that in the first half. Second half, we were able to come out and, kind of we've talked about all year, we're a very young program. Valley Catholic has well over a dozen seniors, pretty big kids. We're able to really control the line of scrimmage. When they started putting in some of their younger kids, match up their sophomores with our sophomores and juniors with juniors, it became a much more competitive battle. We were able to move the ball in the second half and score a touchdown. Take us through that sequence of the scoring drive.
I just watched it on film here. A few times I've watched. We got the ball and 2 or 3 plays we scored along. It was about 62 or 60-yard touchdown to Duncan Thompson. Braden Johnson was back there throwing the ball. It was a great throw, kind of in between defenders, and then Duncan Thompson kind of finished it off by breaking some tackles and kind of scampering into the end zone. So it was a great play, great throw, great catch, and a great run after the catch by Duncan.
So defensively in that second half, you were also able to hold Valley Catholic scoreless. So, again, talking about those matchups, once we put kind of player age-wise together, grade-wise together, we seem to be really productive and able to hold our own. Defensively, were you able to do anything else than what you normally do? Or did you guys just kind of play it the exact same way you've been playing in the first half, just more success because of the different bodies that were out there?
We're just trying to get better every day, and so we try to keep things as simple as we can so our kids can pick up, because we want our kids to, just play football and not have to think a lot, and so we try to do that on both sides of the ball, because we do have some talented athletes, whether they're young or not, that's a different story, but we have some great talented athletes, and we want to let them run and have fun playing the game.
I would agree with you there. We have a lot of really good kids, great academic focus, and they're doing some great things out on the field, and just some real strong mental toughness. I mean, really, you guys started out this season with a couple wins. And then we get into the Quappa League, which is super, super tough. And it's been kind of a tough go at it. But, it never fails that your group comes out and is competitive from the opening kickoff until the final horn sounds at the end of the game. I commend you for that, Coach, and all your endeavors to keep those kids mentally focused, trying to get better.
Yeah, like we talk about, our physical effort is great. Our kids are flying around and hitting people, and so our mental effort. You talk about it's getting better. It's still not where we want it to be, but our kids come out. They've got a great attitude. It seems like we're still getting better every day. In practice, we're having fun, and we're even getting more competitive as we go on. Guys are kind of working against each other and trying to make each other better. So it's a good thing to see, and it's a good thing to see as we move on here. The last 2 games, and then also the rest of the season in the next couple seasons to come.
So, Coach, we're open the show with the idea of homecoming week. What are you doing to prepare your kids for Tillamook and still letting them be involved in that chaos that is homecoming week?
I told them last week, I said, I want you guys to be involved in homecoming. I want you guys to do all the fun activities and participate. But I told them once we get on the field for those 2 hours a day, I need their complete focus and willingness to get better. I think we've done a great job, and for the most part this week we haven't really discussed homecoming. We just gone out in the field like any other week and practiced, and kids would do their homecoming events before or after practice, but it's not something we really dwell on, and we just are trying to get better every day.
Okay, Coach, when we return, we'll look at our matchup tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Broadway Field, the homecoming game versus the Tillamook Cheesemakers.
Stand by for more with Jason Boyd and the Gulls Nest, next on 102.3 KCRX. Now, back to the Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX.
Welcome back to the Gulls Nest. Ocean Crest's never-ending quest to provide a better customer service experience has raised the bar. With their lifetime limited powertrain warranty on virtually every vehicle they sell, new or used. Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac off Highway 101 in Warrenton, home of the lifetime warranty. So I have Coach Chad Smith, our head varsity football coach, here with me in studio. And Coach, Tillamook comes to town. Now, this has been a real physical matchup for the Seagulls the last couple of years. And Tillamook has been playing some really good defense through the Quappa League, keeping Scapoose's scores down. Astoria, same boat, and those are 2 pretty prolific offenses. Are you doing anything different offensively to try to combat that?
We're trying to bring some more backs in the backfield, trying to be able to run the ball and kind of control the clock a little bit. It's unfair to our defense to go out there for 3 plays, in 30 seconds or so, and then punt it back to the defense. So we are trying to run the clock as much as possible, run the football. It's always been my goal to be able to run the football before we have to pass. That's not always been the case this season. But, we're going to try to establish the run and then pass when we have to. And complete some of the short passes to maybe relieve some of the defensive pressure. I don't see a reason for teams not to blitz 6-7 guys against us from the films that they've seen. So it's our job to, whatever the case may be, quick passes, screens, complete some of those plays so that we can establish that run and, help our defense become more successful.
So, Coach, looking at talking about focusing on the run, looking at the potential weather, it actually looks like the game time should be the best time of the next 5 days, where we'll still be a little windy, but the rain's going to subside a little bit. Obviously, that's going to make throwing the ball a little bit difficult. From an offensive line standpoint, are you guys making any adjustments there to try to really just create seams to let your back do the work, or are you kind of coaching your backs up to absolutely hit this hole no matter what?
We put in a couple of different plays, kind of some more downhill plays, and so those are plays we've been working on we've been working with our running backs all year to run to where we're asking you to run and get your head down and get what you can. And so that's something we'll continue to focus on. But we have added a few new kind of different running plays that are more kind of straight ahead, and we'll see how our kids react. And we've had a good couple days of practice here with some of those things, and so we will continue to work on it Thursday, and then Friday come out and come at the cheesemakers and see how it goes.
So, Coach, got a couple kids coming back. Of course, lost Michael Bailey, it looks like, at least for the homecoming game, with an ankle injury. I know he's working really hard rehabbing with our Columbia Memorial Hospital volunteer trainer, Chad Rankin. But losing him on the line is a big loss. Obviously, as your starting center and your most experienced lineman. But the rumor mill is that you do have a quarterback returning.
So Peyton Westerholm's going to come back and he's going to play for us, and so that's another reason we are want to be able to run the ball, because he had an ankle injury, so we want to protect that, and we want to give him some chances to succeed back there, and he's going to hand the ball off. He's also going to complete some of the quick plays. He's a good kid, coachable kid, and the kind of kid that you want at quarterback. He's going to do what you ask him to do, and he's got that competitive instinct, which is something special for high school athletes. So it's a good kid to have back, and he does a great job of kind of leading the offense, and kids kind of look up to him, and he's a great leader out there as well. So it's great to have him back.
So, Coach, you've had a chance to look at Tillamook, obviously, on film. What do we need to do defensively to stop them?
Tillamook, the reason they've been so successful and they've had some great defense over the last couple games is they've established the run game and kind of kept the other offenses off the field a little bit. And so, we're going to stop the run. We want to stop the run and make them throw the ball. And so that's kind of our goal. And to see how that kind of comes to the plan here on Friday night will be one thing, but our goal is to stop the run, make them throw, because we feel that their running game is the strongest part of their offense.
Yeah. So are you going to look at just going man up with your secondary so that you can put more people in the box, especially given the weather? Trying to throw with the wind or against the wind, it could be difficult on Friday.
So we're going to mix it up, but I think we'll be a lot of man because we're going to blitz, and although the passing game has not been the strongest for Tillamook, they do have a great quarterback who can throw the ball a long ways, and so I don't know how much that wind's going to affect him because he's got a great and really strong arm, but they're going to do what they do. They're going to do it well, and it's our job to come up and stop them and move the ball on offense.
Okay. Coach, so you have 3 seniors this season, and not only is it homecoming night with all those extra festivities, but before we start the game, we'll get to honor Phoenix Johnson, Otto Hawkstree, and Noah Bryan. So when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about those 3 seniors and what they've meant to the program.
Stand by for more with Jason Boyd and the Gulls Nest next on 102.3 KCRX. Now, back to the Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX.
Welcome back to the Gulls Nest. Jason Boyd here with head football coach Chad Smith. And Coach, 3 seniors this year. Let's talk about our newest senior, Phoenix Johnson.
Phoenix came in from Klatskanai. We hadn't really seen much of him. I watched a little bit of film, just kind of Googling Klatskanai, and saw that he was a kid that works hard as a receiver. He runs down the field, blocks down the field, and obviously when he was healthy, he did a great job for us. He's kind of a quicker receiver. Had a couple touchdowns, and I had a couple in the Jamboree. He had one in our Yamhill Carleton game, and so that's kind of a big loss for us when he got hurt, and so but while he was in there with us, he made us work harder as a team. He's a good, hardworking kid. He flew around on defense and made some great plays on offense for us. And so, it was nice to have a transfer. We wish we could have had him for
more games.
Yeah, a few more games, more of the season, but injuries happen.
Okay, Otto Hawkstree, who played a couple different spots for you this year.
Yeah, so Otto, we started out receiver. He was a big kind of physical kid, and we thought that'd be good for us to have on the outside and run some screens to him and kind of a big target. And then we ended up with the injuries that we had. We ended up moving to quarterback. He did a great job at quarterback. The games that he was there, I think the game's a little bit slower for him compared to some of our other quarterbacks, which is helpful. He made some great throws. He did what we asked him to do. He's a real coachable kid. And so, again, when he got hurt, that was kind of a big blow, kind of one of our key positions. And so, while he was out there, he's a hardworking kid, did what we asked him. He played both sides of the ball and kind of made some great decisions for us on offense.
And our last senior, Noah Bryan.
Noah Bryan is, he's kind of not one of the biggest guys out there, but he's a kid that works hard. He wants to get better. He asks questions. He's played on both sides of the ball, and he's played safety. He's played cornerback for us. It's a tough deal when you're 5'5" or so going against 6'5" receivers, but he went up and does it with no problem and no complaints and works hard, and is always out there to kind of make us a better team.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Broadway Field, homecoming. There's a couple other events that day. The Noise Parade will start Seaside High School about 3:45 p.m. and wind through town and finish there at Broadway Field. The Powder Puff football game is scheduled to start at 4 o'clock and 4:30. There at Broadway Field, somewhere in that point. It's going to be right after the parade, so we encourage the community to come on down and watch that event. And then, of course, the big show, the homecoming game, Seaside versus Tillamook. Coach, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Wanted to thank the Seaside community for attending the Seaside Kids Pancake Feed on Tuesday, October 11th. We had a fantastic turnout. With an hour left to go, we're up over 400 patrons, and so that's a really good number for us at Seaside Kids. Just want to thank everybody for being part of that fundraiser. I want to look back at the week in volleyball as the Seaside Seagulls hosted the Columbia Memorial Hospital Invitational Varsity Volleyball Tournament on Saturday, October 8th. The Gulls ended up finishing first in their pool. There are 16 teams in that tournament, 4 pools. Each pool had 4 teams. So kudos to getting that number 1 slot. Other teams the top 2 teams then advance into the top 8, and the bottom 2 teams from each pool advance into the consolation round. There were 4 Coapa League teams at this tournament: Seaside, Valley Catholic, Banks, and Astoria. And all 4 teams made it into the championship round, which it's been a really long time since that has occurred at one of the more premier 4A tournaments in the state. Seaside drew Rainier in the opening round, and they lost the first set and came back in the second set and won that one. And then in the third set, had built a 14-8 lead and were able to close it out with a 15-11 victory over Rainier, currently the 6th-ranked team at 3A level, and has a really nice volleyball player. The Edwards kid, who is committed to Indiana as a junior to play Division I volleyball. When you're 6'4" and can hit from anywhere, you're going to probably get to go wherever you want. So Gulls then advanced to play Banks, who had defeated Astoria in the first round. So in the semifinals, ended up with drawing Banks and lost in 2. It was a good competitive match. The Gulls were in it all the way, missing serves in both sets was the Achilles heel and the ultimate result for that particular loss. Banks goes on to defeat Valley Catholic in 3 to win the tournament. So as you're looking at volleyball right now in the Coapa League, Valley Catholic is number 1, Banks is number 4, Tillamook is number 5, in the state. So there's your top 3, and then Scappoose is hovering right around 11th in the state as your number 4, and Seaside as the fifth place team in our league, is the 15th ranked team in the state. So at this point, it looks like the Gulls are going to make the play-in round for the first time in 11 years. So congratulations to them as they travel to Banks next Tuesday, and this weekend they are at Philomath for the Philomath Invitational. Wanted to just remind everybody that the parent conferences for Seaside High School, Broadway Middle School, and Seaside Heights Elementary are next Thursday and Friday, the 20th and 21st. I know at the elementary schools, I believe they're still doing by appointment, so make sure you communicate with school to get in there. Broadway and the high school are more of a drop-in basis. We really like to encourage you to come out and be an advocate for your child. Come to the parent conferences, find out what's going on, communicate with teachers. It's just after doing this for 20-some years, when parents and teachers communicate and kids realize that there's a avenue of communication there, there's a much greater focus on doing well in the classroom. And it helps your child to become a better student if you're out there communicating with all your teachers. So I encourage you to take the time to do that. If you can't make parent conferences, obviously, that's disappointing, but we'd really encourage you to communicate with your teachers via email, and if the opportunity provides itself, come on in and set up a time to be able to meet with your teachers. We really want to help your child become the best student they can, and we'd like your help with that too. Homecoming football tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Broadway Field. Love to see you out there. Go Gulls.
Thank you for tuning in to the Gulls Nest, a weekly look at Seaside High School athletics. Join us Thursdays at 6 p.m. The Gulls Nest on 102.3 KCRX. Sponsored by Ocean Crest Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac.